We want to be respectful of everyone's time. Just wanted, of course, to see everybody's faces, just say hello. My name is Carolyn Jones. I'm the program director at Grid110. So incredibly happy to be here. Long Beach, me too. Sorry about that. I had to do a shout out. So we're going to do a presentation. We're going to jump right into this. If you have any questions at all, please drop it in a chat. We're going to have time at the very end to come to the questions, but I want to make sure you don't forget it. So please mute yourself, listen. We have some alumni here. We can't wait to introduce you. Hey, alumni, good to see you both. Thank you so much for being here. And then we'll do questions at the very end. Does that sound good to everyone? Thumbs up, cool. All right, let's get started. All right, I'm gonna kick it off to my friend, Austin.
Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of you who are here. Looks like we got 91 people to come out to learn a little bit more about friends and family. That's super exciting to us and a huge inspiration for us to keep doing this. First and foremost, by way of introduction, my name is Austin Clements. I'm a managing partner at Slauson Co. We're an early stage firm rooted in the idea of economic inclusion. We created Friends and Family in conjunction with Grid110 just sort of as a result. It was born out of the idea that we know that as a venture capital firm, we're always looking at companies, and we hear time and time again throughout my whole career in venture capital, like, you know, that so many companies started off before they're even talking to us to raise their venture round with a friends and family round. And that whole concept a lot of times is just not even a thing in communities that a lot of us grew up in, where you couldn't ask your parents for $50,000 to work on your idea, or any capital really at all. And so one of the things that we wanted to do was to create more pathways to replicate the early support that entrepreneurs need to take their business to the next level, whether it's going raising venture capital dollars or expanding within their own local neighborhood. So we created Friends and Family to support that. Slauson Co. is a venture capital firm, long admirer of Grid110, which we'll tell you a little bit more about in a second. But the two of us coming together to really try to create something that we think is special and pretty unique. And then on top of that, bringing a lot of really powerful and influential people and a lot of people that you can relate to that were in your shoes just a year ago to come and speak. So with that, I'll tell you a little bit more about Slauson Co. So Slauson Co, again, as a venture capital firm, we have three core beliefs. First is that talent is evenly distributed, but we recognize that opportunity is not. And so we know that there's that opportunity or that talent can surface anywhere. Exceptionally talented people pop up across this country, and not everybody has the same access. And so a part of why we started this is about that. We also have a deep belief that your lived experience is your competitive advantage. What that means is that the thing that is going to make you succeed is not you assimilating to what you've seen other people do or what you've read about or whatever, but it's the unique experiences that you've had throughout life that set you apart from other entrepreneurs and ultimately lead to your success. And then the best companies are aligned with the values of the people they aim to serve. So we want companies that have an understanding of their customers, and we feel like that's where the best products, and for that matter, the best companies, because you understand all of the nuances of what your customer is looking for, and they also recognize and appreciate you for creating the products that you have. So I'm not going to go through all this, but a little bit more just at a high level. You know, we've been around as a venture firm for about 2 years, and we invest at the very earliest stages, pre-seed and seed. I founded the firm alongside my partner, AJ Roland, who's also on here as well, who will introduce himself a little bit later. And the entire idea of Slauson & Co. we recognized was a firm that was doing a lot, but out of the fund, we probably will invest in 30 to 40 companies. And we recognize that if we're really about economic inclusion, what else could we do to create more pathways and more opportunities for people even outside of our core portfolio? And that's part of how Friends and Family was born. So with that, I want to kick it over to have you guys learn a little bit more about Grid110. Carolyn?
Thanks, Austin. So Grid110, our mission is to foster the most thriving, inviting, and inclusive community for entrepreneurs. We believe that anyone with the goal of becoming an entrepreneur should have a chance to pursue it and receive support along the way. Our work impacts individuals who are often overlooked by traditional entrepreneurial ecosystems. That's what drives us, that's what drives the team to make the entrepreneurial path more equitable, inclusive, and accessible. Our mission and our model, we are cohort-based, right? We believe that it's important to learn together. You learn from your peers, we learn from you, and vice versa. Education, always be learning, right? Lifelong students here. And we are also a nonprofit, so we do not charge or take equity from your company for our programs. We are also just important, I want to just mention real quick, our values. We have 4, right? We're community. It's all about the community. We truly believe that it takes a village, right? We can go much farther together than we can go alone. Belonging, right? Everyone belongs here, right? It doesn't matter what you look like, where you're from, we got a place for you. So always be learning, be inclusive. Generosity takes a village. You pour into others, give and you shall receive, receive and you shall give, right? This is a relationship. This is generosity here. And empathy. Empathy is a superpower. And so these are our values at Grid110. This is what our team exhibits. This is what we as an organization try to practice and cultivate day in and day out. And then our team. So again, so happy to be here. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off to Slauson & Co.'s team. Austin.
Sure. So you guys met me, again, one of the founding partners of Slauson & Co. I'll pass it to AJ.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Carolyn. My name is AJ Roland. I'm the other managing partner here at Slauson & Co. Very grateful and excited to be here for our second ever Friends and Family. I'll kick it over to Brittany.
Hey, everybody. I'm the head of platform at Slauson & Co. Thank you for joining us today. Excited to have you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jessica Rodriguez, leading the nonprofit efforts on the off-Slauson side of what we do. And so you'll see me around, particularly when executing all the friends and family things. And then I think Eileen is also on the call.
Hi, everyone. I'm Eileen. I'm the platform analyst at Slauson & Co. Just super excited to be here.
Thanks so much, Slauson & Co. team. Always good to see you guys. Always good to just be in partnership and fellowship with you all. And so this is the Grid110 team. I'm going to kick it off to my fabulous boss, Executive Director and CEO, Mickey Reynolds.
Thanks, Carolyn. Hey, everybody. We're so excited to see so much interest in this program. My name is Mickey Reynolds. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Grid110. We're excited to be back as the accelerator partner for Friends and Family. And we've worked with over 250 companies over the last 7 years. So I think you can trust that our teams know a thing or two about supporting entrepreneurs. I will kick it back over to Carolyn or Allie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Allie. I'm our operations manager here at Grid110. So nice to see so many new faces. Back over to Carolyn.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So again, just welcome you in. Here's the team. This is the Friends and Family team. Just welcome you in and just so happy everyone's here. So let's talk about the program. I hope that is why you're here today. So this is a 12-week program to support early stage entrepreneurs, strengthen their business, attract capital investment, and receive mentorship along the way. Programming requirements, very important. We have a whole slide that I'll get to shortly. So the program will kick off in early January 2023, right? New year, new me. So kick off January 19th and go until April 6th, 2023. They will be virtual sessions every Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And attendance at each session is required. The reason for that is because they built on each other. And if you've ever been a part of like a cohort-based learning environment, you can tell there's a lot of things and interactions and workshops that happen in real time. And so we definitely don't want you to miss that. The format, we have group discussions. So it's all sorts of things from fireside chats to workshops to interactive to talking to expert speakers who we'll share a little bit more about shortly. There's one-on-one advising hours. So everybody you saw on a call, you can actually book one-on-one time with to talk more about your company, your questions, things of that nature. And you also have a accountability group. What that is you meet with 4 to 5 founders along the way, right? So you have your 2-hour sessions once a week. You have a smaller group of accountability groups, and then you have one-on-one advising hours with us. And the focus is core fundamentals of building a business, right? So problem, solution fit, value proposition, startup leadership, sales and marketing, fundraising, everything that you could hope to know about building a business, we got you covered. Some past speakers. So last year in our first cohort, these are some of the speakers who came in to speak to our founders. Stacy at TaskRabbit, you had Jeff at Amazon, Jonah at BuzzFeed, Jonathan at Airbnb, just incredible speakers coming in to speak to our founders about their experience, personal and professional. They answer Q&A from our founders. They just had one-on-one time with these founders speaking about just different topics that I mentioned earlier. And so you can expect some of these speakers to return, but we'll also have some more surprises along the way that we cannot wait to share with you. Other aspects of the program, so aside from the curriculum, if you will, we have community. As I mentioned, you have accountability groups, you have access to the Grid110 and Slauson community, you have invitations to special programming that we do along the program, but also throughout the year. And so it's really important. Community is one of those things that comes up time and time again, and hopefully that is something that you value as well. Funding, you get $25,000 in non-dilutive cash grant, right? So what that means is you don't have to pay this back to us, right? It's $25,000. Additional perks as well. So we have 40 plus partners we work with in a broader ecosystem that you have perks to. As you can imagine, this just helps you as you build your business along the way. So hopefully you can see that we are truly, fully trying to support you in a 360 type of way. So who we're looking for, this is really, really important. So please just take a look at this slide if you can, check the website if you can. These are the requirements. You need to be a for-profit business. Your business needs to be incorporated in the United States or Puerto Rico. You cannot raise more than $250,000, and you need it to be founded less than 7 years ago. So please pay attention to those requirements. We just want to be very respectful of your time. And if you have any questions, we can answer it at the very end. The ideal profile, right? What are we looking for? We get this question a lot. You need to have an MVP, so a minimum viable product or post-product stage. It needs to be tech-enabled product or service, although if it's not, we are looking at other companies too. So please don't let that discourage you at all. And again, more than happy to answer any questions. And then we're also looking at traction, right? Some demonstrated early forms of engagement with the product or service. So what that can look like, do you have customers? Do you have social media followers? Have you raised money? Have you got any revenue? All that is forms of traction, right? Just show us how people are engaging with your product or service. That's how we would like to see it. But yes, pilot testing is perfectly fine too. Anything like that. Have you talked? Have you interviewed? All of that, we want to hear about it. Now the application. So how do I stand out? Well, you can stand out here is on the application. Here are some essay questions. Please take your time answering. Describe your company, the problem you're solving, the customer, your early forms of engagement. Describe your team and capabilities. Why are you the best person to build this? Or why is your team the best people to build this? What are your goals? Why is this program perfect for you right now? Let us know. Another thing is a video. We need you to do a less than 4-minute original video recorded on your phone. It does not have to be crazy. Just please just take your whatever phone you're using and just record it, right? Does not need to be high definition. And just tell us about your company and yourself. How does your lived experience serve as a competitive advantage for your company? Now, the things I will say about this, first with the essay, just some tips here. Proofread it. Have someone who maybe doesn't know your business read it. Do they understand what you're building? Do they have any questions? Please allow them to be your second pairs of eyes to allow you to do a thorough application. I promise you this is how you can stand out, right? And in the video, I can't tell you, some people just come alive in video, right? You may not be the best writer and that is okay, but man, can you talk to us? Can you feel the energy with how you pitch, with how you describe your company? That counts. And that's why we also include this as part of the application, because we respect that and we understand that. And so please just understand that all these different parts helps you present your best self forward. And another thing with optional documents, pitch decks, executive summaries, brand deck, please include it. One of my favorite examples is a person who included their to-dos, right? It was almost like OKRs or KPIs, right? Just the goals for that quarter. And it was really great because you could see them literally crossing things out and writing dates or little notes, and they would follow it. So if they didn't get to one in a quarter, they would literally go to the next quarter and tackle it. That just showed perseverance. That showed they can stay to something, but also they're human. They're not going to get through everything all the time. That's okay. And so that was a really great document to just show the type of founder they are. And again, these are just great ways for you to stand out. And one last thing, brag, 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 brag. This is the time to tell us everything. I know it can be hard to sometimes talk about yourself, but we want to hear it. We want to applaud you. We want to say, yes, go. So please, please just share everything and anything with us. We want this to be your best foot forward, and we want to encourage you to. Don't count yourself out, please. Remove yourself from being an obstacle in your own way. We want you to apply it. We want you to go here. So the application, it needs to be submitted in one sitting, please. You can't edit it once it's submitted. So if you're the type of person who needs to go to your computer and do kind of like a proofread before you submit it, do that. That is a really great way to kind of save your answers, come back to it, and submit it when you're ready. Make sure the video link works. You'll be surprised. Sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they're password protected. So please pay attention to all those things. Again, we want to see we want to see your application. We want it to be the best foot forward. Don't count yourself out. An important date. So today is the first info session. Welcome. The application closes on September 30th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Interviews and cohort selection will be conducted through November and December. And then the cohort public announcement is announced in January, and the program also gets started in mid-January, January 19th. So there's a QR code. Jess will drop the application link also in the chat. So if you want to go ahead and copy and save that, please, please, please go ahead and do so. In fact, go ahead and do so now. Every single person on this call, please submit your application. We want to see it. And our alumni, Catalina and Tara, two of our alumni from our most recent cohort. We want to welcome them. I will ask them questions, allow them to introduce yourself. So ladies, do you please go ahead and just unmute yourself, introduce who you are and what your business does really briefly for everyone so they can know how amazing you are.
Sure. I guess I'll start. Sorry about that, Catalina. Hey guys, my name is Tara James. I am the owner and illustrator behind By Miss James Paper Goods Company. Our mission here is to illustrate the vibrancy and the vastness of the spectrum that is Blackness. So we create greeting cards, stationery, gift wrap for all Black people.
Thank you, thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Catalina Mayorga, and I am the co-founder and CEO of El Camino Travel. We are an experiential marketplace and community that empowers women to travel off the beaten path and experience the full potential of this world and not have to sacrifice the quality of the experience because of their gender.
Great. Thanks you both for being here. So tell me, what was your experience? Like, what was your experience going throughout the program? Walk us through a life in a program, if you will.
You want to start? I'll let you start, Tara.
Okay. I mean, for me, oh God, you guys, I saw somebody in the chat saying that this was an amazing program, and it absolutely was. I signed up for the program not knowing what to do. I didn't have a clue. I had a great business, a great product. We were selling things, but I didn't know a lot. I didn't know the professional stuff. So this is like a mini business school with the homies, right? And you were able to ask a lot of questions. They literally walk your hand through all the areas of business, creating a business plan, marketing, finance. And it's just, for me, it's been absolutely life-changing, guys. I could walk into any room now with my head held up high and can't nobody tell me nothing because I know exactly what I'm doing. And it's really just all thanks to the program and the tools that they provided us with. You guys are definitely lucky. Congratulations for even taking first step in coming to this information this session, you know, because you guys, this is going to set you up for success for the long way. Hopefully that answered your question too.
No, it's hard. That was great. I want to go through the program now. Catalina?
Yeah, so when I saw the announcement that the second cohort was going to be, or there was going to be the application for the second cohort, I immediately asked if I could apply again because that's how good the program was. Knowing obviously I can't, but I second everything Tara said. I think for me overall, I came in, or when we applied, my co-founder and I, we thought we knew what we wanted to get out of the program. And that's really good. Like, you definitely want to reflect on that in the application and really try to identify like what you're hoping to get out of the program. But I think we got so much more than what we even envisioned and expected. Definitely the hard skills around running a startup, thinking about running a tech-enabled business, fundraising, which was huge for us. But I mean, by far, it was the community. And I think community at all levels. It was community with the other founders like Tara. I mean, we were cheering each other on every single week in our Slack channel, at the meetups. And then also community with the Slauson team and the Grid110 team. I mean, they were just such huge supporters and cheerleaders. And I took advantage, probably Tara and I and a few others, we took advantage of the mentorship sessions every single week. Like I was up in everyone's Calendly, scheduling calls. And, you know, you're never going to really have an opportunity like this when you have such smart people who are like wanting you to succeed and you have their time and attention. And so we wanted to take full advantage of that during the program.
Thank you. I mean, you both even touched on this, but what So once the program was done, how did you apply it now to your company and moving forward? What has success looked like for you and your company post-program?
Oh man, so many, for me personally, so many great things have happened. I think post-program, I was ready to take off, but unfortunately some personal things came up in my life that I had to deal with. So I took a couple weeks off to just kind of settle and digest everything I learned. But when I was ready to go, and a big thing for me was financing. Like I've always, my business has essentially paid for itself, but I don't want that. I want other people's money to pay for my business so I can expand and grow in the areas where I need to. I didn't know how to do that. So when it was time for me to do so after the program, I started getting in this funk, like, oh my God, what do I do? Where do I start? And then I started Googling things, the same trends I did before I started the program. And then something clicked in me. I was like, wait a second. I have access to Slack. We still have office hours. We still have, you know what I mean? Like these entrepreneurs and residents that we could chat with. I literally went back, and I think it was maybe like session 3 or 4 where we learned about creating a pitch deck. I went through that whole session, you guys, a lot of which we didn't cover in class, but they gave you so many resources. So I did that whole thing by myself, and I'm actually in talk with my first investor. I've been able to hire 2 employees, thank God. I'm looking at bringing production in-house, which is one of my main focuses. So I have to buy a printer, which is really expensive, but I am on my way to do that. Thank you. So, I mean, it's just been, I have, like I said, I'm much more confident, man. Like I know what I'm doing now. I have a blueprint laid out for me, and any moment that I forget, it's always available for me to look at. And if I have questions, our team, our family, because this is eventually going to become y'all's family. They my family. So I could hit them up whenever and say, hey, oh my God, I'm lost. Can you walk me through this? And then they'll definitely do it. So that was my business is still, we're in over 100. I think when I started, it was maybe 115 stores. I think we might've hit like 190 something stores now. We're growing. It's insane. And I have the backing and, like I said, the knowledge that I need to take me to the top.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
What about you, Catalina? What have you been up to?
Well, first, congrats, Tara. I had no idea. You need to drop that in the Slack.
I know I've been slacking, my bad.
I know, but amazing. I'm on like too many Slack channels now. So I think for me, when we entered the program, we knew that we really needed support around fundraising and demystifying the fundraising process more than anything. And we also thought we were going to start fundraising during the accelerator, and we actually did not. We decided to really take in the experience in full and really take in all the knowledge. But and there were several reasons why we decided to do that. But I think one of the reasons we did that was because we learned early on in the accelerator that the best time to start fundraising is when you're not fundraising, and the best time to start talking to investors is when you're not fundraising. And they give a lot of tools and resources around that. So basically what we ended up doing is using the accelerator to really soak in all that knowledge and experience, and then just like, any business, start testing and iterating with investors and even with our mentors and all the team at Grid110 and Slauson, and just start running ideas by them, using them as sounding board, getting their feedback, and then actively going out there and not technically pitching investors, but talking to investors and saying like, hey, we're not fundraising, but we would love to get we would value your advice and your feedback on what we're building for XYZ reasons. And so I think that was a huge mind shift for us during that, so that when we ended the accelerator, we could really go out there and put our best foot forward with fundraising, which we also closed our round this summer too, and with a few investors. And one of our investors is actually Slauson. So we are now a portco of Slauson. So that is how we have applied it. And I feel like, honestly, like I get it. Fundraising is incredibly intimidating and it's nerve-wracking for so many reasons. But I do feel like out of the accelerator, getting I felt empowered is the best way, just like so much knowledge around that. Austin's session around demystifying VC and then being able to follow up and ask questions. I feel like put the power back in us, my co-founder and I, and for us to be able to go out there and fundraise in a way that we hadn't been able to prior in talking to investors.
Thank you. Congrats. This is amazing, y'all. I'm just so proud of both of you. This is amazing. So I need you to quickly rewind. Just rewind real quick. What about the founders on this call? You know, remember when you were in their shoes right now? What tips do you have for them? What would you tell them? If you could talk to your back to yourself, rewinded on this call right now, what would you have told yourself?
You know, I mean, first, as you know, Carolyn, and I don't know, you guys, for the people who are on this call who went through the cohort with me, I'm a talker. I'm not shy when it comes to asking questions. I didn't know a lot, you know, and I knew a lot because I learned a lot, but I didn't graduate from college. And I was always intimidated to talk about, you know, business things with professionals or whatever, because I didn't know what I was talking about. Man, so I ask all the questions. Ask all the questions, y'all. Ask all the questions. There are such thing as dumb questions, meaning like something that you can obviously go look up. Go look that up. But if you're not sure with it, ask. Take advantage of these people's times because they're giving it to you for free. You know what I mean? Make these calls, send them emails, you know what I mean? Just really meet with these people. Ask. For me, that helped me build my confidence. I grew as an entrepreneur, as a businesswoman, and it allowed me to understand all the concepts that were tossed out there, because we're coming from different backgrounds. Some people are more, you know what I mean, they're further in their journey than we are. Some people are just starting out on their journey, you know. So the people who are further in their journey, they speak up and say, oh my God, I know EOC. And I'm typing in the chat like, yo, what? Can we break this down in layman's terms, please, and explain it to me? So don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to, this was church. This was therapy for us. We cried, we laughed. It was a great time. So don't be afraid to be vulnerable in this space. And take advantage of all the resources and tools that they had. Yes, and like I said, it keeps going. So everything that I should have done then, I'm definitely doing now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Tara I feel like you were just the best example. You opened yourself up so much. And I feel like that allowed so many other people, including myself, to open up and be vulnerable. I think just don't try to be perfect is definitely one thing that I really took to heart. And as Tara's saying, everything she said, like ask all the questions, ask any question, no question is dumb. Just to add a little bit more, I think when you do sign up for those mentorship sessions or throughout the weeks, come in. For me, it was really helpful, and everyone's different, but it was me to come in with a certain challenge I was facing that week with the business and have that pinpointed and then go into the session and say, hey, this is the challenge I'm facing this week. This is what I'm thinking. Would love to get your thoughts and just get their feedback and thoughts, and I don't want to say go in with an agenda, but just also go in with some sort of idea of what you want to discuss to get the most out of your session, because sometimes you do only have 30 minutes. So that would be one big piece of advice. And then also really tap into the other cohort entrepreneurs and founders, and in your accountability groups. I just loved all the knowledge and all the support within our accountability group. And within the accountability group, we had others who were fundraising. So we were soundboards for each other in between sessions, and would hop on calls, send each other WhatsApp messages, really build community around that as well, so that you don't feel so alone.
Thank you both. Really just appreciate your time today, and just so good seeing you. Congrats on everything. Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining. We want to open it up to Q&A. Also, if you have any questions, programs@grid110.org. You can go ahead and save that email right there. So if it comes up at all, please feel free to email us. We are there. And then the QR code for the application too. But now we definitely want to open it up to just a Q&A from you. Are there any questions that we can help answer for you? Jess, you want to go ahead and turn off the presentation and we can go ahead and awesome. Thank you. So yeah, go ahead and raise your hand. Brandon, I saw yours first. You can also drop it in the chat if you can't unmute yourself, but yeah, Brandon, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know what your question is.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, my camera seems to not be working. But my question was related to the level of like tech enabled that you're looking for service-based businesses. I'm a co-founder of an experiential wellness studio, and we deliver mental health programming through music, events, and consulting. We utilize tech. We leverage a lot of the platforms that you mentioned that we would have the credits to, like Notion and Airtable, but we don't have like a proprietary sort of like software that we're building. Just wondering again, like what level of tech enabled are you looking for as you use tech to deliver a service?
Thank you for that question. Austin or Mickey, do you want to answer Brandon's question?
Sure. So I don't know that there's a particular level or really how to manage or measure that. Service-based businesses are a little harder for the program to support than those that have like a specific product. So if there is something in your in your offering that you want to focus on, and sort of we look for companies that want to have basically innovative products in whatever category they're going after. And so sometimes those products are tech enabled, sometimes it's we've had greeting cards, and so it could be a pretty wide range. Does that answer your question? So
yeah, that does. Thank you.
All right. Oh, and please say where you're from. Where you from, Brandon?
From LA, or not from LA, but live in LA, from Connecticut originally.
Perfect. All right. Sounds good. LA represent. I think we got Keisha up next.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Keisha Collier. I'm the CEO and founder of Funded with Lady K in California. My question is, would a company who does similar work that you do, like we build capacity and bandwidth and TA assistance, particularly for BIPOC and women-led nonprofits, would that be a conflict of interest?
No conflict at all. We don't. I mean, we want to support every company that we can that sort of fits where we can support. I want to make sure, based on the description, are you a for-profit company?
Yes. Okay.
Yep. So then, no, it's a not conflict of interest for us. This is this is coming out of a separate pool of capital than the fund itself. So there's no.
Perfect.
If you're aligned with what we're doing and think that we could still help, then we'd love for you to.
Thank you.
Jordan.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm the founder of Forefront. We're an affiliate marketplace to help Black brands and creators turn their influence into income. And I'm calling from Atlanta. My question, I have two quick questions actually. The first one, I know you mentioned MVPs. We're actually in the process of building out our MVP. Does it have to be fully built out to apply? And the second question that I have is regarding just like the companies that you're looking for. Are you particularly looking for founders or companies that are looking for venture capital funding? After I'm asking because I'm really interested in crowdfunding, so I just wanted to see if that would be a good fit for this program.
I'll take the first question. Maybe Mickey could talk, or Carolyn could talk about the second question. That being said, I forgot your first question. What was it again?
It was regarding the MVP. So I know you mentioned that's one of the criteria.
Yeah. So the reality is you do not have to have MVP to apply. But with that being said, you see the number of people that are on this, and the companies that are the most competitive do often have a product that's already being used. With that being said, you can apply, and if somehow you can demonstrate that the product is gonna be well received, even if it's like a very, not the version of the product that you want, but like if there's something that you could point to that shows that it could make sense, and you can make changes to the product as you learn new things, then that makes it that can make you more competitive. But being totally candid, there are a lot of people applying that do have products that are in market. And the second question, take it over to Nikki. Talk about multi-funding paths.
Oh, like I heard the first question, but I didn't hear the second question. Thank you for that. No, I think we're pretty open. I think, we talk a lot about the different funding pathways that are available to founders, especially if you're looking for something to grow your business. And so whether that is grants, angel investments, venture capital, equity crowdfunding, a number of other avenues, I think we want to make sure it's an access to capital program. And there's a lot of different types of capital out there. So you want to make sure that you understand what makes the most sense for you, and to try and help you obtain it however we can.
Thank you.
Tsunami, or I'd love if you would tell me if I pronounced that close to correctly.
Yeah, you actually said it correctly.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So hello everyone. My name is Tsunami Goziem. I am a founder of Chigos Productions. We are an entertainment and media production company. We're actually a traveling entertainment and media production company. So our motto is to meet creatives where they are. Similar to what you guys are doing, it's hard for a lot of Black creatives and creatives of color to find opportunity. So my job is to meet them with opportunity. I work with a lot of independent creatives to put films together, art show, exhibits, various things. So I have two questions. My first question was, how long does the video have to be? Because I didn't remember seeing the length of it. And my second question is, for a media production company, the MVP, would a film or would a previous exhibit be something that I could use as a minimum viable product?
So Carolyn?
Yeah, so the video needs to be at most 4 minutes, so 4 minutes or less. And then I'm getting quite a few questions about the MVP. Also, I'm getting some direct messages. Probably the best way to get your questions answered, do the general message. I'm trying to respond, but I might miss it, just FYI. But the MVP, for your specific questions, thank you so much. Yes, if you're a production company, if you're producing film or anything that your consumer or your client can consume, right? Give you feedback on, that's an MVP. And I'm getting some questions too about that, about, where you are in the stages. I would say a functional MVP is a product that your customers can use. Like, is it live? Can people go buy it? Can they use it? Can they touch it? Can they give you feedback on it?
What if we're in like mid-production, it's, what I'm saying? Like, because what I have as of now is I'm working on a film series. It's a trilogy series. We have one film shot already, and then we have 2 more to complete. However, we do want to refilm the first one, but we do have a completed first draft.
Okay. Have you released it at all?
No, we cannot release it until everything is done.
Okay. Do you know when that timetable would be?
We're expecting winter of 2023.
Okay. Yours sounds very specific, especially with film, because I understand film can take quite a bit of time to actually release it.
But there is, I mean, but with my company itself, it's one of those strange things because I work on two ends. It's, you know, the consumer end, but also the client end. And a lot of my staff and the people that I work with are independent creatives. I feel like my company is, I want to be recognized for working with a specific set of people, more first and second generation immigrants, graduate students, people who go to school, get an education, but we are oftentimes overlooked. And it's once, like you said, it's a personal, you know, from my own personal experience is where I created my company for. So I think diversifying, what makes me stand out as a company is the fact that I do work with these particular group of individuals who are also creatives and we travel.
Okay, I hear you. From what you described, it may be a little early stage just because nothing has been released where you have customers or clients or can give you feedback. But again, please keep in mind too with it, I don't want to make it seem so black and white. We also take companies who may be right there as well, right? We say a functional MVP because it makes sense when you're going through the program, because we're giving you foundational knowledge that we want you to go right out there and actually be able to implement. That's the reason why, right? So you can get marketing done. You can go talk directly to your consumers. So that's one reason why we say a functional MVP, if that makes sense. Because if not, you won't be able to take that information and necessarily go apply it. And so it does might be a little early stage, but again, it sounds like you're in production as well.
Carolyn, if I could add one thing quickly on the video. Carolyn mentioned you could shoot the video on your phone. Absolutely true. It doesn't have, we're not looking for production quality or fancy editing or anything like that. If you do want to do something or you have the capacity to do something more special, feel free to do that as well. It doesn't have to be, you know, just shot on the phone. But basically, our point is don't overthink it. And I got a couple questions in the DM about it. Don't overthink it. It's really just another chance to communicate what you're doing and show your personality alongside doing it as well. I know we got to try to get this close to on time. Let's try to get through a bunch of more questions. Remy, what's up?
Hey, Austin, how are you? Remy Moraz with Zella Life. We're in the HR tech space, workforce development. My question is around the investment. So our first investor came in with a mix of cash and resources, and the resources being full-time bodies for us. So the cash portion is under the 250, but with the bodies piece, it takes us over. So how would you guys assess that?
We look at it in terms of cash investment because, you know, my guess is from sweat equity, probably everybody here has put in more than $250,000 into their business. So just purely outside capital.
Okay. Yeah, that it is outside capital, but they counted that as the investment.
Yeah, outside cash investment.
Cash. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. Pose to blur. I can't see your name, but
I'm sorry, my bad. I forgot that. I should have changed the name. But my name is Curtis.
Always on brand, man, and don't apologize.
My name is Curtis Dwayne White, the first of his name. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and my company is Blur. Basically, 6 years ago, I wrote an algorithm where any content creator can create a post, set a goal, and the goal could be like 5 or 10 likes. And every time somebody likes the post incrementally unblurs itself. And so after 2 months of warring with Apple, I finally got into the App Store 2 weeks, actually 2.5 weeks now. And my question is regarding marketing. Like Apple has this thing where they allow ads into your application. And so my question is, do I let do I allow the ads in Apple on my social networking app, or do I not do the ads and just continue to focus on trying to raise money so that I can market it using the marketing dollars?
I appreciate the question. There's that is definitely the type of question that you would want to ask in the program for the purposes of this and the fact that we don't have a ton of time left. We want to try to focus the questions on the application for the Friends and Family program. But yeah, definitely apply. You talk, you get to ask questions like that and hear from experts who know, you know, much better than I do on how to address specific questions like that. But thanks. Awesome. And because of time, if you just say your name and where you're from, we don't always have time to go into what your company does at this point, and we will see it in the application. So with that, I'll over to Sandra.
Are you going to answer any of the questions in the chat by any chance? Because I know a lot of us have been asking.
Yes, I posted a comment saying we'll get them at the end after raised hands.
Okay, we could probably put, can we respond to some of them in the chat?
Yeah. I responded to a couple in the chat, so just the ones that are lengthier, we'll wait for the end. But two of the big questions that are easy, about 20 companies in the cohort, and the video, I think it was already answered, but to reiterate, 2 to 4 minutes, and all the requirements in the application will be actually listed in the application, so there should not be any ambiguity there.
And as far as service-based businesses, we definitely skew more toward product businesses, something where there's a replicable product that's not like just solely dependent on one person or customized to each, basically start from scratch with each new customer that you go to. So often those are software products or physical products, CPG products, things like that. We've had a wide variety of different companies, though. One of the main things we think about is whether the company can grow locally and sort of differentiate as a category defining business. Like, can you be the absolute best in your category? With that, I'll go to Sandra.
Hi, I'm Sandra. I'm from Santa Ana in Orange County. And okay, just really quick background about me. So I'm the founder of an online profit handmade jewelry marketplace. And I was former recipient of seed investment and of a small business incubator from the Social Justice Sewing Academy. My brand is going through a rebrand and a transformation of products. So from handmade jewelry, it's now going to be petite fashion for the women in the corporate workplace. And so it is currently in a drop shipping based model. But one of the reasons why I'm interested in applying is to not drop ship from out of the country. I want to source locally and work with designers in LA, based in LA, Orange County, which I already have that team identified. And another important piece of information, I'm also a digital marketing professional with the concentration on SEO and building high-performing Google ads. So my question is, do I qualify to apply for the application?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything in there that would disqualify you. So I think you're fine. If you are on the fence about these things, obviously we want to be respectful of people's time. But if you're on the fence, we would strongly encourage you to apply. And if you can explain, what you hope to get out of the program and what you want to get out of the program, that's always helpful. And we don't want to be too prescriptive about it. If the overarching thought of the program is that we want to help businesses out, innovative businesses out, regardless of their format. Okay, if we could keep to the questions very quickly. ADM Institute.
Hi, thank you. My name is Orchid. I'm the daughter of my dad who founded the ADM Institute. So we were founded in 2006 as a dental office, but we have within the past 5 years transitioned into a dental assistant training program where we train dental assistants in only 5 weekends. So my question is, would we be able to apply? We were founded in 2006, but we did not start doing what we're doing until the last 5 years. And we are currently transitioning again to incorporate virtual reality education. So we're incorporating the tech aspect, but I know we're kind of on the fence with a lot of the requirements. So I just wanted to ask.
I'll let the grid team answer that.
Sorry, I was answering questions in the chat.
Founded 7 years ago or over 7 years ago, but
7 years or less.
But pivoted to a new business model 2 years ago.
Okay, so that sounds like the new business model is what, 5 operational dents? Is it like a new company?
Yes, so we were founded as a dental office, but since have transitioned to a dental assistant training school. And then now we're incorporating a virtual reality education aspect.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you for the question. Yeah, of course. Thank you for the question.
All right, Bradford.
Yes, thank you. Two-part question. I have an IT background, and I've developed a creative digital agency that's developing an ecosystem for small businesses like these that are entering into the program. So we're looking to service them. But I found that the value in what I've created in my back-end system, like a CRM and all the integrations, would be significantly valuable to other agencies. But it's like, I don't want to sell that. I really want to sell the service. So I created a new business entity to be able to do that. And does it matter what state we are established in, where the business entity is? And would it be advantageous to seek funding to sell the solution or sell my service?
For the purposes of application, it doesn't matter what state you're in or Puerto Rico. For the question around your financing and what you should do with selling the business, I think that's a good question for the program to kind of talk through, and one that we probably couldn't answer here.
Oh, I would like to squeeze in one more question. Is valuation a part of the program? Like,
do we discuss valuation? We do.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I have a big challenge there. Thank you.
Understood. It's not always intuitive. We do cover that. Starlet?
Hey everyone, good evening. I'm Starlet calling in from South Carolina. I also have a 2-part question around traction and MVP. My startup is birthed out of a service-based company. So I'm essentially creating a platform to do what we've done in the service space to be able to maximize our impact in the operational accounting space, business intelligence, FP&A. When framing traction, do you all consider the success of the service as a part of traction? Is that something to add in there and speak to as the founder? Yes, okay, I see you shaking your head, great. And then the other question around MVP, have an MVP, yes, it's functional. Do you care about volume for beta users currently, or do you just care that we have something we can send people to right now?
Yeah, we're careless about volume. The reason why we want the MVP, as Carolyn alluded to, is a lot of things are very practical applications and very tactical work. And if you don't have a product that you can test things on or try things out on, then this is all very nice and theoretical, but it doesn't have the same impact as if you have a working, functioning product that you're trying to drive users or customers to purchase and use.
Got it. Thank you.
Welcome. Let's see, if you've already asked your question, if you could unraise your hand. Dr. Phillips.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Austin. So thank you for this. I just have a few quick questions. So my company really just produces silk, mulberry silk accessories for newborns and beyond, and just really built out of my own frustration as a mother. I was just curious, how do you guys diversify your selection process for this program? And how many people do you take in the cohort? I apologize if you answered the second part already.
Sure, there'll be about 20 companies in the cohort likely. And how do we diversify? We think of ourselves as being a very inclusive program and pride ourselves on our inclusivity. Grid110's track record is such that, you know, around 70% of the companies that have been through the program are founded by a person of color, 70% are founded by women. So, you know, pretty groundbreaking statistics in all the historical programs. Our portfolio looks at Slauson & Co. is somewhat similar. So, you know, we don't have any targets around anything at all, but what we do know is when we lead with the message of inclusivity, a lot of times the people who have been historically excluded are the people that show up. So that's how we think about it.
Okay, thank you.
Eugenia, did I get that right? Wait, you're on mute. Or you disappeared.
Hi, Austin. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Brittany. I was just actually lowering my hand because you guys have answered all of the questions, but thank you so much.
Did I get your name pronunciation correct?
No, it's Eugenie, but that's okay. It's a work in progress.
I'll get there.
No worries. We'll get there. We'll get there. Thank you, guys.
All right. Kaylon.
Hello. Hold on, I'm trying to turn my video on. Hi, my name is Kaylin Beck, and I'm the owner of Beck and Call Hospitality. I'm based here in Houston, Texas. I was asking in the chat, if I plan to launch on an investment platform within the next 2 months, is it still okay to apply, or do you recommend holding off on launching on the platform until after the program? Or, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be accepted, but until after I find out if I'm accepted into the program.
Well, generally I'll say, and then please, Carolyn, correct me if I'm saying anything wrong here. I don't think we would tell you, ever advise you to do anything to stop your business or other opportunities that you have. Or slow down for that matter. The program, as Carolyn alluded to, starts at the beginning of January, and there's a good amount of time between now and then, and so hopefully we'll make progress and things like that. In terms of the requirement around $250,000 is if you have not raised that amount of money at the time that you click the submit button for the application. So if in January or late December you close your round, you're still eligible for the program.
You have everything you said. Please apply to the other program. We wish you all the success. Sending you tons of luck there. Please apply.
Yes, absolutely apply, and apply to this program.
Yeah, us too. Yeah, please. We want all the success for you and give you options.
A couple of things. One, I recognize that we're at the end of our scheduled time. If anybody has to drop, you will not be deducted or docked or penalized in any kind of way or anything like that. Feel free to drop off if you have to run. We're going to try to answer as many questions as we can and try to get through what we can. So we'll probably stay on for another few minutes. But again, we absolutely appreciate you staying on to hear what we have to say. And we'll listen to you. Look forward to seeing your application. I totally agree, Erica. I totally agree. Okay, we'll go with Caroline, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're great. Hi, and hello to all the grid people. It's been a minute, but I'm actually a previous graduate of a previous Grid 110 program, which was amazing. And so my question is a bit specific, but I'm just wondering how this program differs from the more standard cohort, if it does at all.
Sure, in a couple ways. One, because it's a joint program. There are we Slauson & Co. like to bring our network of speakers and mentors and resources to the table, which we hope enhances the already stellar curriculum that Grid 110 has created for programs that people, as you know, have been raving about for a while. In terms of the core program, and then the other difference is maybe in the program that you went through before is $25,000. But from does it make sense for you to go back through the program? You will probably hear a lot of what you've heard before through the program. It's very, very similar in format, but with sort of our network and $25,000.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. And to everyone else, it is an amazing program. I'm here again, so it's a testament to how incredible it is. So wish everyone the best of luck.
And then adding it on real quick, because I know what program you're on, different focus. So you'll hear similarities, but it is a different focus from the one that you're a part of, especially because we are bringing in partnering with Slauson & Co. So it's going to have a different feel, although you're going to feel overlaps, especially with the foundational knowledge, because we want to make sure everyone has that knowledge before we go anywhere else.
Awesome.
But good seeing you. Yeah, of course.
Good to see you.
Message me if you have any questions.
Will do. Thanks.
All right, good seeing you.
Next up, good to see you, sir.
Hi, how are you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Hi, so I'm Savalas, and I'm a computer scientist and I'm an author, and I'm founder of Corner QR, which is a platform for published authors to share additional material associated with their books via a unique QR code. And my question is regarding the sessions, like when are the sessions being held, and when are the groups where you have accountability groups? When do they get together as well?
I'll take it, Austin. Hey, so good to see you. So sessions are Thursday virtual, so Zoom, Thursdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Accountability groups, you all decide. So with the 5 founders, you'll pick the time and all that works best for your group. Okay, and do we get to choose the groups that we're in, or how does that work? We decide, but there's thought that goes behind it, if you will, right? Because as you go on, you might have similar milestones or pain points or challenges, or we just think there'll be some just awesome synergy, right? From just relationship or partnership building. But there is thought behind why we put you in groups. Okay, great. It sounds like an awesome program. I'm ready to apply. Yes, you bet. I hope to see that application. Thanks so much for being here. Great, thank you guys. Of course, thank you.
All right, MT.
Hey, everybody. Driving to a meeting right now, but super excited to be on, and great conversation, great information, much appreciated for sure. So if I'm looking up, I'm not ignoring everybody. I'm just trying not to die, just being honest. My question is around intellectual property. My company, Metric Mate, has a patented platform that allows you to turn any strength training equipment, barbells, dumbbells, kettlebells, machines, into smart equipment. And so we have several pieces of intellectual property around what we're doing and that process and those algorithms that it takes to be able to do that. Well, is that a positive? Should we elaborate on that in the application, or how should we approach that to try to get the best look?
I think that you can mention it, that you have patents or intellectual property associated with it. In our world, while it's important to protect yourself, we don't find that as like one of the core points of differentiation that would put you in a stratospheric level above the rest. But it is good if you have something and you have a patent that's granted. It's good to know that you're protected. It's worth mentioning. I just don't lean like extra heavy on that in your story as the selling point. We'd be much more interested in you if you said, I don't have any intellectual property, but I have a whole bunch of customers that love this product and that are hitting me up every day to buy it. We would just to sort of sort how we value different things. And yes, please be safe, brother, out there. I liked how you came on with the dramatic effect with the light too. That was
hey, you gotta have some showmanship about yourself, you know.
you got to. Appreciate it.
Indeed. Thanks.
So just real quick, Austin, just for that too, I just want to make sure, because we do have space limit in the application. On something like that, you might want to consider the extra documents just to like note it. I don't want to take that space from like your story, if you will. You know what I mean? So that could be something that you just, and FYI, and I have this, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. But thank you so much. Yeah, you look very cool there. I don't think I could do what you're doing. So continue to drive safe. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right, Barney, how's it going, man?
What's up, Austin? Yeah, first of all, it's awesome, by the way. It sounds amazing, the whole program. So thanks for having this information session. I just was curious, we're going to start working on the next project in Whittier, and I just didn't know if that was something viable that we could apply with, or if it's kind of, because it sounded like you guys are doing like scalable tech-enabled stuff, and I just didn't know if we could with our project.
Yes, if it is, if again, knowing a little bit about what you're doing, you can certainly apply. And again, I think when we point out scalable, or if we point out tech-enabled, a lot of times it's kind of directionally, so people are thinking in terms of like a product. If you are, if you were a consultant, then it's probably not a great fit of a program for you, just in terms of how we could help and how we can think about building. But other than that, if you're a product, then great. Yes, what you're doing would be a great fit.
All right, cool. Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, I think that's all the questions we have
Yeah,
here. Are there any other in the chat that we haven't got?
There's a couple in the chat that I just want to reiterate. I think we answered everything, but just so it's clear and captured in the recording. So outside funding, 250K limit for any outside funding by the time, as Austin said, you hit submit on the application. Number two, number of co-founders that can participate, up to 2 co-founders can participate in the program and go to the actual sessions. And then there was a couple of questions about like business type status or incorporation status. So you just need to be a registered company in the US or Puerto Rico for profit status. So you can have a C Corp, S Corp, LLC. I think those were the main ones. Any other ones, Carolyn, maybe I missed, or if I missed anyone's question, feel free to post in the chat and I can hang out for a second and answer.
The last question that I would just like to reiterate is, although Slauson & Co. and Grid110 are partnering to bring you Friends and Family Accelerator, participation in Friends and Family does not guarantee an investment from Slauson & Co. So that was a question that was asked in the chat, and I just want to make sure everybody saw the answer.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and someone just asked it again, what proportion of cohort go on to get funding from Slauson? There's no specific proportion that go on. So again, led by Slauson in partnership with Grid110. And that's that.
Looks like we have one more question from Tara.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Tara.
Oh, did
Hi.
Okay, I was like, no, not me.
Yeah, no, sorry, this Tara. I rarely come across another one, so good to meet you.
I know, nice girl.
You're doing amazing things. My wife was just like, oh, I want to get one of her cards. So you have some customers here. Quickly though, I noticed, I was quickly perusing the prior cohort alumni, and I didn't notice any like health tech or companies. Was that intentional, unintentional? Are you open to health tech? And that's the question.
Did you say health tech, like health and wellness? Oh yeah, yeah. So Grid is definitely invested in health tech. Has had health tech companies in their programs, past programs. Slauson Co is invested in health tech. So that just happened to be from the selection from last year. We're not opposed to it at all.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
And a couple more questions. Do sole proprietorships qualify? I believe they do, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes to that. And then if your company is at 7 years this year, do they qualify? I believe the answer is also yes, right? When they hit submit. So you're good, Felicia. Jonathan.
Incorporated. I see a question there too.
3-year incorporation.
They need to be incorporated when they apply. That's a requirement.
Okay. And then Jonathan, to your question about alumni companies, I'll post the link again, but you can look at alumni companies from last year to see if there's any that are matching the description you have. You do not need revenue to be considered a for-profit business, and that question will be asked in the application. And I think that's everything.
Yeah. Also with Tara, sorry, I just forgot, but I was looking. Thank you, Mickey. We did have a health tech company actually in the last cohort, Tara. Demble, if you want to look at that one, that will show you a little bit more about that company.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, Mickey did post it in the chat.
I know it's all good.
So thank you to you both. I did notice that they seem to be, and again, took 2 seconds, so I could be wrong. They seem to be B2C, and so, and I probably just reach out, to honor everyone's time separately, but because we're more B2B focused, so just kind of want to make sure that there's alignment.
There's alignment. I will tell you, there. It just happens to be that's the one that was selected. Remember, you get a lot of applications. Out of those applications, that just happens to be somebody who was selected. But please don't let that discourage you from applying. We definitely hope to see your application come across.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
So I think we've answered the questions. What I do want to leave you with is a strong word of encouragement to apply. I think a lot of people see this and they see other people and they hear ideas and stuff like that, and they don't know if they should keep working on it. I think even the process of going through an application helps you refine and put into words and some of the ideas that you have, and makes you it's a good exercise. But on top of that, definitely apply, and we hope to see your application in. If you came here and you heard something that really resonates what you're doing, you got to go out on a limb and give it a shot. So encourage you to apply.
Completely agree. Please apply. Please don't be the person that says no. Right? Don't say no to yourself. Don't do that, please. We'd love to see your application. Continue to apply. We're here. We want to see you guys. We want to support you. And just thank you so much for being here all the way to 5:20. Y'all, this is great. So you're already ready for session. We're practicing.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys for showing up. This is great. And we look forward to seeing your applications. Talk soon.